Good morning, everybody. And at the outset, I was thank Dr. Bansi Sabu and the organizing team for giving me an opportunity to be here in this Earth Day platform. And I will be speaking on hypoglycemia and cognition in elderly type 2 diabetics. Actually, cognition is impaired with all the three things which we are seeing over here. First is elderly age group. Cognition decreases with the age. Second thing is type 2 diabetic, again it is responsible for decrease in cognition, and third thing is hypoglycemia, which again is responsible for decrease in cognition. So first we set a platform that how age and diabetes causes change in cognition. So cognitive decline is a part of aging, and these include impairments in the short term and working memory, processing speed, retrieval of memory information, attention and problem solving, and this is a subtle and gradual decline which is a part of normal aging, and this is always there. However, we check cognition on these aspects, that is crystallized and fluid intelligence, processing speed, attention, memory, language, visual spatial abilities and executive function, in which the crystallized and fluid intelligence, which is based on the experiences, usually is not declining with age and it usually improves. However, other aspects of cognition get impaired with the due course of time. And this is because the structure and functional brain changes. That is, there is a loss of grey matter, loss of white matter, and the neural size and synaptic density changes with age, and this is the cause for decline in cognition early. And these are the long list of things which are responsible for decreased cognition early. This can be medication, this can be metabolic disorder, that can be psychiatric illness, that can be medications, n number of infections which can be responsible for cognition in decreased cognition early. Now coming to diabetes, how diabetes causes dysfunction in elderly, that is chronic hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia, vascular diseases, cumulative effect of hypoglycemic events, and possibly direct effect of insulin on the brain. All these things might be responsible for cognitive dysfunction in diabetes. However, it is unclear whether these factors individually or in combinations are responsible for the cognitive dysfunction. There are various studies in type 2 diabetes which shows that there is an impact on the brain and the cognitive functions, and all the studies shows that there is a decrease in the hippocampus, there is some lesion in the hippocampus, decrease in the grey matter, white matter, all these things get deranged and causes decreased cognition in elderly. This is a complex slide which says that type 2 diabetes has a compromised brain. Type 2 diabetes can cause vascular damage, can cause metabolic disruption. Vascular damage has neurovascular dysfunction, macroneural activation, demyelination, hypermetabolism, and all these things will cause neuronal damage, white matter damage and atrophy. In metabolic disruptions, hyperglycemia, insulin resistance, altered insulin signaling, advanced glycosylation end products, HP axis dysfunction, inflammation, tau pathology, all these things again will lead to neural dysfunction and oxidative stress. All these things are responsible for cognitive impairment, dementia and risk. Dementia risk can include Alzheimer's disease in diabetic, and thus diabetes is responsible for cognitive dysfunction. Again, you can see that going from younger to older adults, the common factors which are there is stress, smoking, diet, depression, aging, all these things are responsible for cognitive dysfunction. Hyperglycemia per se is responsible for cognitive dysfunction by oxidative stress, adrenal dysfunction and all that. The comorbidities such as hypertension, dyslipidemia, all these things act together to cause cognitive impairment, and hypoglycemia, which is there, is a major factor which causes cognitive decline in elderly. Now coming to hypoglycemia, how hypoglycemia affects cognitive dysfunction in elderly. There are various studies which shows that the severe hypoglycemia causes cognitive decline in older people. This study shows that the relationship between hypoglycemia and cognitive impairment is complex, and severe hypoglycemia is associated with poorer initial cognitive ability as well as accelerated cognitive decline. These are various studies again which show that there is injury to the hippocampus, macroglial. These are animal studies as well as human studies, as well as review which shows that there are effect on cognition with hypoglycemia. How hypoglycemia affect? Brain is largely dependent on glucose for its metabolism and is particularly vulnerable to hypoglycemia, especially after each hypoglycemic episode. The major cognitive changes occurs leading to post-hypoglycemic encephalopathy, and recurrent hypoglycemia may be associated with impaired cognitive function and development of dementia. A retrospective study of 16,667 older adults with the age group of 65 years showed that there is an increased risk of dementia with the episodes of hypoglycemia. One episode causes increased risk by 26%, two episodes by 80%, and three or more episodes can cause dementia to the tune of 94%. And these things are independent of the glycemic control, medication, and comorbidities. The attributable risk for dementia was 2.39. Another observational cohort study of 302 patients with the age of 75 years showed that patients with dementia or cognitive impairments were significantly more likely to have hypoglycemic episodes. Again, a study which is Edinburgh population-based cross-sectional study of 1,066 patients with the age of 67 years showed that self-reported history of severe hypoglycemia is associated with poorer late-life cognitive abilities, and these abilities are demonstrated by poor performance in verbal fluency, digit symbol testing, letter number sequencing, and trail making. And this is again independent of diabetes duration, vascular factors, and vascular complications. And these results persisted after adjustment for estimated prior cognitive abilities, suggesting that association of hypoglycemia on age-related cognitive decline. That means this has been adjusted for age also, and thus it signifies that hypoglycemia only is responsible for such cognitive decline. Again, this was a study, SOLID, which was done in type 1 diabetic patients, elderly type 1 diabetic patients, and it showed that recent severe hypoglycemia and lifetime severe hypoglycemia were associated with worse cognition, suggesting a deleterious effect of severe hypoglycemia on brain death and older patients. And this graph, in this graph you can very well see that if there is no hypoglycemia, then the cognition is preserved. However, if there are 1 to 3 episodes of hypoglycemia, there is slight cognitive impairment, and more than 4 episodes of hypoglycemia will cause severe cognitive impairment, either single episode of severe hypoglycemia or lifetime risk of severe hypoglycemia. Hypoglycemia cause neuronal death and just lead to cognitive dysfunction. Any of the diabetes having hypoglycemia will have cognitive deficits in the mental processing of thought, memory, learning, intelligence, reasoning, attention, decision making, and visual perception, and will lead to cognitive dysfunction, and it will depend on the intensity, frequency, and duration of hypoglycemia. There is an article from Stroke which shows that specific changes in the human brain after hypoglycemic injury, and you can very well see that cerebral cortex, substantia nigra, and hippocampus. These are the 4 areas which are mainly affected by hypoglycemic episode and will lead to damage to these areas, and these areas are also responsible for the processing of cognitive functions, and that's why it is impaired. And this is the MRI image which again shows that bilateral chordate nucleus, lentiform nucleus, cerebral cortex, and substantia nigra, hippocampus are involved, and this is the CT scan which was done on day 10, day 18, and day 50 also. So these are images, initial images. A and B are on day 10, and then C, D, E, F, G are on day 18, and H, I, J, K, L are on day 50. So all these things are showing that the persistence of the damage which is caused by hypoglycemia causing cognitive decline. So in older adults there is a difficulty to recognize the hypoglycemia because the symptoms are non-specific. They are easily misdiagnosed as stroke, vertigo, or visual disturbance. It is misinterpreted as dementia-related symptoms such as agitation, behavior changes are usually taken as probably it is due to dementia, age-related dementia. There is atypical presentation in the form of confusion or passive delirium, and there is a little warning or unawareness of autonomic symptoms. So these are the factors which are responsible for difficulty in recognizing hypoglycemia in older adults, and patients with dementia unable to communicate their feeling with the symptoms. So these are the common difficulties which are there with the older people, and thus they are not able to we are not able to diagnose that patient is suffering from hypoglycemia, and the cognitive impairment worsens. How to manage these patients? The ADA has definitely made a guideline to have a higher A1C for these patients. If a patient is healthy, has a longer life expectancy, with a fewer coexisting chronic illness, intact cognitive and functional status, where the target HbA1c is less than 7.5, and the bedtime glucose is between 5 to 8.3 millimoles per liter. That is, if you multiply by 18, then it will give the actual result in milligram per deciliter. If a patient is having complex or intermediate remaining life expectancy with high treatment burden, hypoglycemia, vulnerability, fall risk, and there are multiple coexisting chronic illness or more than 2 instrumental activities of daily living, impairment or mild to moderate cognitive impairment, then the target HbA1c is less than 8. And bedtime is 5.6 to 10. That comes close to 180. Bedtime glucose should be close to 180. And it is very complex, poor health, limited life expectancy, long-term care and end-stage chronic illnesses, moderate to severe cognitive impairment, more than 2 ideal dependencies, then the target A1C is less than 8.5, and here you can see that bedtime glucose reaches close to 200 milligram per deciliter. So the issue is that don't be very strict in older adults, and you should try to avoid hypoglycemia, because if the patient has hypoglycemia, then the impairment will be more. So, to summarize, consider cognitive dysfunction when older adult fail to perform self-care without obvious reason. This is very important. If the adult is not able to perform the self-care without obvious reason, then you should think of that probably the dose is higher or there is some form of hypoglycemia. Older patients with cognitive dysfunction may fail to identify, report and treat hypoglycemic episodes correctly. They might miss a dose, they might say that I forgot to take drugs, I forgot to take insulin. All these things can be there. To avoid poor outcomes, aim for the best glycemic goals that can be achieved without putting patient at risk of hypoglycemia. I have discussed the target, it is 8.5, 8 and more than 7.5. To avoid poor outcome, select glucose lowering agent with a lower risk of hypoglycemia if possible. Probably in the resource constraint setting, we might not be able to take out sulfonylurea from the regime, but probably sulfonylurea is the most common drug which is culprit for causing hypoglycemia. Assess and modify glycemic goals periodically based on the changes in the overall health. Avoid the use of A1C as the sole measure for glycemic control. Don't target A1C, and do repeated finger sticks reading, which may provide more accurate assessment of the current glucose levels. Again, CGM can be helpful in all these patients, but we cannot put the patient always on CGM. A simplified regimen can improve the risk of hypoglycemia without compromising glycemic control and may improve quality of life. You can give 1 or 2 oral drugs with basal insulin if required, and rate to a higher target so that patient doesn't get hypoglycemia. Repeated education in the areas of the critical for safety, such as hypoglycemic recognition and treatment, which is important, and caregivers should be educated and their welfare and convenience should be incorporated in the treatment strategies. Thank you.